Hey out there, welcome to Stories of Friendship. This is your host, Morris, and I'm joined today by a very special guest. This is my sister in law, Liz. Liz, let's go ahead and have you introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Liz. I am Morris's sister-in-law. I'm married to his older brother.
Oh,
I
this.
absolutely love him, and we have a blended family of 5 kids. And I am currently in real estate here in Texas, but I am very out of my comfort zone right now because this is not something that I do. But I'm more than welcome and happy to do this with my brother-in-law family. So
And I'm super happy to have you on, Liz. I cannot wait for us to get into our conversations. So, just so the audience knows, we have talked extensively about friendship, and we've spent hours at a time right there on Liz and Tony's couch just talking about what friendship means to us and who's important in our lives and what they've actually given to us. So, Liz, tell me about the impact of discussing friendship in that manner. What was friendship like for you before we had that conversation? And then what do you feel about it now?
So I think the most important impact that what has happened and transpired from our conversation is talking about how important it is to talk about friendship because we often talk about this is my friend, but we have different levels of friends. And then the big piece of what I can say prior to that conversation, because we were on the couch for how many hours? I mean, it was
Like at least four. We were going for it.
like 3, 4 a.m., right? I mean, it
Yeah.
was, and it didn't even seem that way. But I think where we normalize friendship, we have to know that it's okay to talk about platonic love. It's okay to talk about, what friends bring to your life. What friends do you call friends, but are they really friends? And you really start and realize, those true friends. And then you say you have all these acquaintances, where do they categorize? Because there are priority in friendship. So now having had that discussion out loud, because we kind of keep it all inside and we just don't talk about it for whatever reason, I almost feel like it's weight lifted off my shoulders. And I know that sounds ridiculous because you talk about friendship and that's my friend, but what is that level? And even with my husband, Tony, I mean, we had really great discussion after the fact about it, and we still talk about it now. And it's great because I can tell you, probably right now, there is a phone call taking place about, one of his best friends. And listening to them, it's almost like they're freely talking about stuff that normally wouldn't. I mean, and I'm doing better about not joking about it, right? Because that was one of my things. And uh, it's okay. Like loving friends and loving people, there's different levels of love. And that's where I'm at. And it's really just kind of pointed out levels of friendship of what I currently have. So
Beautifully said. That makes me so excited to hear what an impact one conversation can have. So you brought up platonic love, and it's something that I haven't actually discussed on here much. Tell me what platonic love means to you.
so for me, so when I talk about loving my husband, I love him. Like I absolutely love him. If he needed my right kidney, I'd give him my right kidney to live. Okay. You have friends in your life that you say, I need to borrow $5,000 because I need $5,000. Okay. That friend, there's probably less than a handful of those friends that I have that would say, here you go. But I say I have, 100 friends, but those 5 are going to say, here, they're not going to ask me what for. They're not going to ask me when you're going to pay it back because they know that I wouldn't be coming to them if I did not need that. And so vice versa. I need you to help me move from Chicago to Texas. When do we go? Okay. Those other friends that are not in that category, I got to figure out the kids. I got to figure out, you know, not to say that I wouldn't do it, but that's very limited. And I hold that very close to my heart. And I think that in Tony's situation, and this is when I really noticed it a few years ago, we took off almost a week to go see one of his best friends graduate from or not graduate. I don't even remember. It was an accolade that he had in his career. And I looked at it as just, hey, we're going on vacation. Hey, I've never been. Let's go. But I knew then that it was extremely important to him. And over the years of that friendship, there have been, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, there's been family members that have asked for things. And he's like, well, I got to take time off, or, oh, and that's a huge difference. I mean, we're talking day and night. There's no in between. And to me, that's what that means, to give you examples, because it's no questions, ands, if or but, ands, ifs or buts about it. And I think those handful of people, for me, like the way I love Tony, it's the same way for them. Like,
so there's something about platonic love that is on equal footing with a romantic love.
Absolutely.
That you see.
Yes, I do.
And how does, because here's the problem when I hear this from my couples, right? That it's like almost like there's a guilt. It's wrong to say somebody else could be equal, especially in love, to your spouse, right? This is a person that you're committed to and you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with, and they're supposed to be your best friend and they're supposed to be your priority and your everything. But here we are saying in platonic love, there is something equal. It's not saying it's the same, and it's not saying that it's the same importance or any of that, but there's something equal. There's a feeling or something intangible, right? That is on the same footing as romantic love. How does that make you feel when you think about because you have a best friend that you have platonic love for, when you, and I hate to say compare, but really, like, that's what I'm about to ask you to do. How does that compare to your romantic love?
So that's a couple of answers in its own, because we as society frown upon that because we don't talk about it. And I say, man, I really love you, Tony. I love you so much. I really do love him. Like, I can't imagine my life without him. But then there's those handful of people too that I'm like, I don't want to go on vacations without you. I want to experience these things with you. I want you to come with me. And then that's where, after our conversation, you really start to categorize them. When I tell my friend, man, I really love you. Thank you so much for always being my number one supporter. She does the exact same things that my husband does, supports me, pushes me, without the exception of sleeping next to me. Okay. I mean, and so romantically, love is only shared with my husband, but the word loving her is just, I mean, it's really a feeling, and I don't even know how to put it into words, but I can tell you, I can call her right now. And as a matter of fact, she's not even here. She's out of state. And I need whatever. Sure, right now.
And you trust that she would provide.
It's just, and so to put that into comparison with Tony, I'm traveling right now back and forth to Austin. I have a flat tire. Tony's going to try to figure out how do I get my wife covered? How do I make sure? But if Tony's gone and he's, in another state training or whatever, who's my next person that I'm calling? Well, my other guy friend, because I'm probably not going to call her. I mean, she's probably not going to know what to do. I'm going to call my other guy friend who I love. And my husband knows that. Like, I love him too. Like, it's a same situation, male versus female.
It's this platonic love, right? There's nothing romantic. There's nothing sexual. And there's not this like jealousy because it's understood by you and Tony. This is a platonic love.
But you know what? So normalizing that, a lot of people don't see it that way. And that's been challenging after our conversation to really talk about that, because even in talking about it, it's like, what do you mean? Well, people just don't get it. And maybe they have experienced it, or they have or are going to experience, but they don't want to look at it in the way that it is. And for my guy friend that I'm specifically talking about, I could call him if Tony did go for a month to training, which probably will happen this year. And hey, I need you to do XYZ. And he'd be over here in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like no questions, nothing asked, no sexual, no, none of that. And I think over the years of five years of friendship, Tony and I have an understanding of you and I are exclusively in a romantic love, but my other friend over here, it's not that, but man, I love him too. I know that's crazy, right? People don't understand it. They don't understand it the way that Tony and I have it.
Yes. Yes. And for me, that's like magic, right? It's beautiful because I think there's a trust that has to be in place to allow you guys to, because a lot of the couples, and even some on the podcast have said we have to protect our marriage, right? Our marriage is first, which I 100% agree, and I can definitely get behind that. But I think trust is a key component of saying, I understand that there is this person in your life who is, because I'll say, as somebody who has female best friends that are married, I support their marriage 100%, right? When they come and talk to me, they know that I'm for them. I want the best for them. And there's not a question of, oh, well, I'm going to try and come between the marriage and anything crazy like that. It's like, I'm for both of you. Do you feel that the same way? Like those, so your male friend that you have achieved platonic love for, you feel like he supports you and Tony both?
Absolutely. And I mean, and to be honest, I've tested, I'm not going to say tested waters because that sounds like I've tried to do something, but I have made comments about things in general, not necessarily me and him, but in general with like, oh man, I wonder what would happen if, I tried to test my game. I joke about it, test my game and go talk to another guy. And he's like, go ahead. I'm going to tell Tony, go ahead. And so it's that bromance too that they got that it's like, oh, you're my friend. You're my friend. Okay. But exactly what you said, just in a different, and I've tested that before. And he's like, okay, go ahead. And he'll pull out the phone. And I'm like, I was just kidding. Like I would never do that, but he's in it for both of us. And
Yeah.
I don't know. And so from one of the things, because I actually did talk to him about this after we had our conversation, and he made the comment like, well, what'd Tony say? Well, what did he say? I said, he was sitting right there. He was sitting right there. We were all talking about this. And I said, he's like, and he said, and I don't know how, this is perceived, but it's a saying that men with men don't talk about that. And then when you do, it's almost as if you're trying to play in the backyard kind of thing. And it's like, no, I don't think so. So I said, check this out. When we're all together, I'm going to bring it up. And I want to see how you react. I want to see how he reacts. And guess what? Probably about a month later, I brought it up and he kind of gave me this, but it was a great discussion. And then guess what? So they're in this long 30-minute conversation. I heard the comment, man, I love you, brother. I love you like my brother, like my own brother, like my family, the word love. And saying that is not a light word for your brother, and you know that. And
100%.
so that made me feel so, I don't know, accomplished. It made me feel happy. It made me feel fulfilled that he can talk about that and it's okay. And he doesn't want to have judgment passed on him. But I use the word, man, I really love you, but I don't say it unless I mean it. And that's where a lot of people say, man, I really love that. But do you? No.
Right. We abuse love. That word, we abuse it to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
oh, that's so good, Liz. It's so good. It's really, really good. Okay. So, yeah, it sounds like you've definitely uncovered a lot about platonic love over these last couple of months.
Yep.
What an incredible journey. All right. So you have how many close friends would you say? Like, what does your inner circle look like?
I would probably say, okay, so I would probably say about 10 to 12 people in my immediate inner circle that I'm calling if I'm having game night tonight. Probably 12 to 15. Yeah.
And what's the ratio like? Is that all close friends? Is that some best friends? Like, what are those 10 to 12? Because we talked about categories, and not that you should always put your friends in a box, but like we're talking real. How many people are your ride or die, your best friend, and how many people are like, these people are close and I love them?
So categorizing them out of 12 to 15, I'm calling them for game night. I'm calling them because I want you to come to, celebrate whatever with me. Out of those 12 to 15, probably about 3 or 4 know everything about everything.
And you would say these are my best friends, and
These are
probably
these
have
are
platonic
it.
love for that group.
Yep, these are it.
Okay. And the rest of them are close though.
They're really close. I mean, they know, but they don't know like the other 3 to 4,
And there's something about that, because I feel like you, where I have a lot of close friends, but the people that I call best friends, there's a difference where I almost want them to know. I want them to know everything. Like,
Yes.
I want them to know whatever. I don't want to have any secrets. Like, I want to be exposed. I want to be vulnerable with them. There's no shame here.
Yeah.
Do you kind of feel the same way with those?
Yes. And even if I told them whatever it might be, they would never be like, "Oh my God, can you believe?" and go tell someone about that, because I want them to know everything.
Yes,
And
yes.
and when I'm not telling Tony, I'm calling him saying, "Hey, guess what?" And then I'm telling them whatever this is. And actually, one of my friends that I'm talking about, actually two of them just directly right now come to mind. When I was thinking about shifting over in real estate and going from what I was doing into this new role, I picked up the phone and I called them and I said, "Hey, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think?" And they came back and they said, "I mean, how do you really feel? Like, tell me." Like, they made me talk about very uncomfortable feelings, thoughts, and they said, "Okay, my job is done. You know what to do." And I was like, "Geez, thanks." Because Tony was like, "I just want you to be happy, babe. Do whatever you want." Okay, but I need more than that. I need you
Yeah.
to really, and really both of them did the same thing. And they came back and they said, "Okay, let's touch base in about a month." And then last week, actually on Saturday, or a few days ago, both of them were checking in. "Hey, how's it going? How you liking the job?" Like, "Hey, thank you for caring about me." Like it just
Yeah.
makes me feel like the category, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Priority.
Now, I was talking to somebody, and I think it actually might have been Kiana. And we were talking about having more than one best friend. Now, there are people who say, well, you can only have one best friend. And there are the people like me that say you can have as many as you can handle. You can have as many as you can hold. So how does that work? Because you have 3 to 5 that you call best friend. Do you have a hard time distributing your attention to those 5? Is it ever overwhelming when you say, like, I have platonic love for 5 people, and then managing that alongside your marriage?
So, yes, and this is more recent, probably in the last year or 2 that I've actually, started practicing it, because before I felt guilty about, I thought exactly that, you can only have 1, but then things happen in your life where you're like, you kinda start going outside of that and you start integrating that in, and now it's become normal. Now, where I do find it challenging is sometimes when you try to integrate all together, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have to prioritize your time with this friend because they like doing this, and then you prioritize your friend with this because they want to do that. And then sometimes when you try to bring it together, it's short-lived. And I'm like, now I got to go break my time up and over here, over there. But what I've done, I've started to bring Tony in the mix, is bringing Tony like, "Hey, let's go date night, all of us together." And so we're all together and we're all hanging out, and it's been actually really good these last probably 14, 16 months. And not to say that I don't prioritize with the other folks. It's just, I want to experience new things with them. I want to go and do things with them. And sometimes when husbands don't come, it's just me and my friend, and we just go and, hey, what are you doing? We wake up, we go, and it's great.
Yes, yes. So is what you were saying though that when you brought Tony into the mix, it kind of enhanced that experience of bringing
Yeah.
everyone together? Okay,
Yeah.
tell me about that, because I think that's so unique almost, that hey, I'm gonna bring my husband, and it's like he's helping kind of distribute you among your friends.
Yeah. So at first it was kind of awkward because Tony didn't want to. He's like, I don't want to go out with you. I don't want to go out with your friends. I feel like I'm going to be, because I joke with him and I say, my dad, like, oh, my dad said I can't drink anymore. My dad said it's time to go. Like, I joke with him about that. But I did tell him not too long ago, probably this is before our conversation about this. I did tell him, I said, honey, I just want you to know that I really appreciate your support. And sometimes I know you don't want to go, and you get up and you come with me. And he says, well, I know that you really want to go. So I just want you to be happy, and I'll come with you as long as we're not out till 5 a.m. in the morning. And so he does kind of balance that with me, but he just kind of chills. He's not in the way. He's not acting like my dad. He's not doing anything like that. But my friends have accepted it. They've accepted him, and they're like, oh, Liz is coming. Well, Tony's probably coming too. Now it's like, Liz is coming. Oh, yay, Liz is coming. And so they know now when they say Liz is coming, 90% of the time Tony's coming with me. And it's okay.
Which is beautiful, because we experience the same thing over here with my circle. Certain times we'll say, okay, if Kendall's coming, then there's a likelihood that her husband Brian's going to come along with us, and we love it, right? We love when we get both of them, and then we've got David, right? He'll bring Myra along, and it's actually a really good experience. And I'm not going to lie, for me, as somebody who is single, I feel closer to my best friends when I feel close to their spouse as well.
Yeah.
That is like an element that I understand, especially if there's, because it is a higher element of trust when they say you have free permission for me to engage with my spouse. I mean, that's like the ultimate level of trust. Like it's almost like I want you to have a bond with my spouse. It makes me feel good, special, unique, trusted, right? All that good stuff. Mm-hmm. So have you experienced that with maybe some of your single best friends, that like do they make an effort to know Tony as well? And obviously the one male friend, because he's like basically saying, I'm going to be favored by Tony. Right. I'm about to become Tony's number one, and you're number one. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But how about some of your other friends? Do you experience that where they kind of bond with both of you guys because they bonded so well with you?
So I don't know. That one's really tough because I've never implemented or implied anything where they can't, that like the door is not open for that. I think it's more Tony. Tony's not, I don't really care. I don't want to be bothered. And so Tony kind of gives that energy off, like I'm here because Liz is here. I'm not here because I want to be here. So I think for that situation, it's a little bit different because I don't know that he's as inviting, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. He's not warm at first, right? You got to get in there.
Yeah, but I don't even know that. Okay, so let me give you this as an example. So I have one of my best friends who will text. Okay, first of all, she has his number. She has Tony's number, email, probably blood type. I don't even know. She knows everything about him, right?
Yes.
But she'll text me and she'll say, hey, can you have Tony call me? Or hey, I texted Tony today to ask blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then that's just kind of it. And then so a couple days will go by and I'm like, oh man, I remembered. And now so I'll ask Tony, I'm like, hey, so-and-so texted you. What was that about? Oh yeah. And he'll tell me, but I'm like, it's nothing. Like, but like, I don't know that they feel comfortable, I guess, going to him directly, it's almost like they're trying to do it behind my back, but I'm like, I don't care. You're my best friend. Like I would trust, I don't know. I don't even know how to put it into words, but I trust them, but it's just maybe the reciprocation of female to male because they're my friends first. I don't know. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's I think it's complicated for sure.
But I mean, you don't have to check in with me when you're talking to my husband. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Right. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me, because we talked a lot about friendship in marriage. So how do you and Tony continue to have a strong friendship in your marriage? Like, what do you guys do to build and maintain your friendship?
Friendship with our friends, right?
No, well, friendship with each other.
Okay. Elaborate on what you mean by that.
Because we talk about how when two people are married, all of the responsibilities get in the way of you guys having like a good strong friendship sometimes, where it's like, oh, we have the kids, we have bills, we both have jobs, we have chores and errands, and so when you get together, those are the focus, and now you guys are just husband and wife and not friends.
Yeah.
So what do you do to keep the friendship alive?
So I can tell you this has probably been an eye opener for both of us, probably in the last 5 years or so. And we work at that because it's a daily thing that we have to work at. And we are very fortunate to have some friends of ours who are kind of going through the same thing right now, that their entire life has revolved around the kids for the last 20 years. And then now they're like, oh God, what do we do? Well, I hate saying this, and this is a selfish part of me, but I feel like I'm reaping the benefit of that because they're starting to get to know each other again, right? And they're trying to go hang out and do this and do that. And guess what they do? Hey, you guys want to tag along? Yeah, we do, because I love them, right?
Yeah.
And so the last several years for us, Tony and I have really made it an effort to do things that we normally wouldn't do because we're always go, 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 kids, 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 work, 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 right? Community, community. So what I mean by that is we make it a point every end of month that we're going to have a date night for the following month. And it's not like it's non-negotiable. So we're not saying, oh gosh, I'm really tired. You know what? Let's not go. We make it a priority to do that because when we reconnect and we have to hit that reset button, now we're not taking trips, sometimes, and we're not going to dinner, it's something different because we go to dinner all the time. So that's not necessarily a date night. So we make it a priority to stick with it, and it works because we're always on the go with everything else. And that's our opportunity to really talk about what's going on. Like what we see each other every night, but what happened? What'd you do today? What'd you do yesterday? Because we're always go, go, go. And then right now, he's doing a lot of projects with work that I'm like, hey, well, whatever happened? And then I'll forget a week later. I'm like, oh yeah, whatever happened? But now with my job, he's now asking like, oh, what, how did it go? But even tonight, so tonight we had dinner, not a date night, just dinner. And we're sitting there just talking about anything and everything. And I already know I can order for him. He's so predictable with what he orders. I can order for him. And I changed it up tonight. He's like, oh, well, what is that? Well, what are you ordering that for? But it's because I wanted to see if he was going to pay attention. And he did. And so that's that piece that I think for us, we've got to do better at not being so routine with our marriage. And really the things that I'm talking to my best friend about, I want him to know too. But if he's gone or he's got something going on, he's the number one that I'm telling it to. And then as soon as I hang up with him, I'm calling the other one. And as soon as I hang up with them, I'm calling the other one. And so it just kind of goes in that priority.
Yeah.
But sometimes Tony's not available. So I'm having to call number 2 or number 3. And then sometimes I'm telling him at night because he's busy at work. But that piece of us being friends, it's really kind of rediscovering each other and the likes, the wants, the needs. And because if I always tell them, if you stop dating your spouse, you're doomed for, whatever. I hate saying the D word, but you're never gonna prosper and get into something bigger and better in 5 years or 5 weeks, 5 months. You have to work at it every single day.
Ooh.
And we also have, this is just a side note, we also have a sign that every now and then we'll put up, it's I love you because, and we have the opportunity to leave each other notes. And it'll be like, because folded the clothes last night. It can be whatever, where I'm like, oh my gosh, you sent me flowers. Tony is getting so much better about just because flowers. And I'm like, thank you. Like, thank you. It makes me feel so special. And, he just, but that's been years of kind of, I don't know. And I'm just very happy where we're at right now. I'm very happy and where we're going.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Mm-hmm.
really good. I love hearing it, and I think it's important for the audience to hear too. Here's another perspective of how you work at this friendship thing in your marriage, and you just advocated for friendship again because you said it's our friends. They come in and they say, "Let's come out with. We're rediscovering each other. You guys come on out with us," and so now you guys have an opportunity to do it together. Yeah,
and boy, do we make memories. Do we have a great time? And it's great, man. It's so good.
Yeah. No, that's really good. All right, so we've talked about your circle of 12, and here, like, it's great to talk about how you actually do have a struggle with managing that large of a group, right? Distributing that priority and time among all of those people. What do you recommend to people who say they can only have one best friend?
Yeah. There comes events that happen in your life that you realize you need more than one. And I give you that as the example of, I just told you I call Tony, and then I call number 2, I call number 3, and it's literally in that order. But not all of them are going to be available right then and there, right this second when I need it. And so, I used to think that it worked that way. You can only have one, but no, because these best friends bring something completely different value to my life. Okay. And it may, and it can, and I'm talking just wise advice. It could be, right now, optimistic, I'm having this struggling day where I'm like, oh gosh, I want to quit my job. Oh, whatever. And they talk me off that ledge. Then you have those number 4, number 5, number 6 friends that they're like, jump off the ledge. I'll jump with you. No, I need you to really talk me off because I'm having a moment. Right. Yeah. And so sometimes number 4, number 5, and number 6 don't do that because they feel like agreeing with me is what I want to hear.
Yeah.
But in tune, I really need you to tell me, no, we're not jumping off this ledge. We are going to talk this out. We're going to figure this out. And by the way, tomorrow I'm going to follow up with you and I'm going to see how you're doing. And you know what? They do that. It's not just a right now conversation. And so to those that think that you can only have one best friend, you need to reevaluate it and you need to think about it in the aspect of the people that you think, because everybody, and I hate saying it, but everybody has a number 1, a number 2, and a number 3. Outside of my marriage, I still have a number 1, a number 2, a number 3, number 4. And so it's a priority, right? And so, and I tell you, the value that they bring and all of those friends that they have bring something completely different to your life.
So you're saying not just them, but also the friends that they hold dear contribute to you as well.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting perspective because that's influence that because I'm taking care of you, you are able to take care of somebody else based on what we went through to get. Yeah. It's beautiful. And that is truly the power of influence in friendship. And I always say, like, I invite and welcome all my friends, all my close and best friends to influence me like you're saying, tell me what I need to know. Don't tell me just what I need to, like what you think I want to hear, but tell me what I need to know, because we're trying to grow and we're trying to learn. And if you have something of wisdom to offer me, let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Tom Rath wrote this book called Vital Friends, and it talks about how friends can any relationship can play 2 to 3 roles out of 8 in them. So to me, it sounds like you get all of those roles filled by an audience. I highly recommend this book, Vital Friends by Tom Rath. You're going to read about those 8 roles, and it's eye-opening, because then you will start to look at all of your relationships a little bit differently and understand what they specifically give to you, and you can actually build on that even more. So it sounds like to me you have those 8 roles covered in your best friend circle alone.
I'll definitely take a look at that book.
Yeah, it's good. It's so good, and it's like exactly what you're describing. There's a certain value each person brings, and even in your marriage, 2 to 3 roles. That's it. One person will give you on average 2 to 3 roles. So this is a reason to have friends outside of marriage, but then also to have multiple best friends. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And on the opposite side, I think some people say, well, you can't have anybody else, right? Like you can only be my best friend, and that's far too much. There's no. So how do you feel about commitment and friendships? Because I feel like that is a major difference between marriage and friendship. Marriage has a commitment that says we're going to be together no matter what. We're lifelong, and I think friends don't come with a commitment. You, for whatever reason, you meet up, you love each other, and you decide to take care of each other. And there's not we don't sign anything. We don't put rings on. Like we don't do any of that stuff. So how do you feel about that?
Well, I definitely think commitment in marriage is, I mean, I'm not sleeping right next to my best friend or my best guy friend, but I think there is a sense of level of commitment when it comes to friendship. And, because we have normalized the word commitment around, sleeping next to my husband, having romantic, encounters with him. That's what we call commitment. But also on the other side of that, and sharing dark secrets with my husband, that commitment is also shared with my best friend. And believe it or not, I know this is like public, will be public, but some of my best friends know some of my darkest secrets about my marriage.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and not that, everybody thinks that I have this perfect, great, marriage, and my life is great. I have a really great life and marriage, but I also know that like I said, those couple people know some things that I'm like, they're not holding it over my head saying, hey, I remember you said, but that's a commitment, because I would have never shared any of that or something like that with them if I didn't feel that they were, one, going to pass judgment, or two, try to steer me into, oh my gosh, you need to go. I have a friend over here I mean, they are team Liz and Tony, like team Liz and Tony. And
that's what we were talking about earlier. Their team.
They are team Liz and Tony. And those other friends are like, hey, well, what if? I don't need that. And not to say that they always do that, or they do that often, but, and so the term of without the rings, without the, sharing finances, to put it into perspective, I share jewelry. I give jewelry. And I think I told you this. That's my way of showing my friend, I love you so much. I was at the jewelry store and I saw this, I thought of you, and I wanted you to have it. It's not a ring, it's a necklace, it's earrings, it's whatever it might be. And then for my guy friend, it's like, hey, I was at the store, I saw this shirt, I thought of you, and I'll buy him a shirt. And so it's not money, it's not rings, it's just that, right?
Yes.
And so I don't do that with those 12 friends, but I do.
Right. That's reserved to those best friends. Those are your ride or dies. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So that's where I think, with trying to normalize how we view it, see it, talk about it. It's okay to feel this way. It's okay to be this way. It's an understanding, and either you understand or you don't. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't understand it, and they don't want to understand it.
Right.
But
Right.
we do, thank God.
Thank God, because we understand the richness that having friends like that in your life can bring. So talk to me about expectations, because in our society we have expectations based on the titles that we give people. So for example, in marriage, you have the titles husband and wife, and society dictates that this is what a husband's supposed to do and this is what a wife's supposed to do. And if you don't fulfill those things, you're not behaving like husband or wife. And I think that happens from society and friendships. Like when we say, well, you're my friend, so you should have called me, or you should have known, or you should have been here. We do those societal pressure things quite a bit. How do you deal with that in your friendships, and even in your marriage? Like, how do you deal with the societal pressures and tone them down so that you could truly have a good relationship?
So I think one of the things that I have been utilizing over the last 3-4 years is the comment that, a lot of my friends will say, oh, you don't have time for me. Oh, you don't make time for me. Oh, you're always busy. But you know what? I am. I have acknowledged that I'm always busy. I've acknowledged that I'm always on the go. And now I'm about to be working a lot. But you know what? I make time for the things that I want to do. Okay. That is called prioritizing, right? Time and time management. So I may not be able to go for 5 hours, but I may come for an hour. I may be able to, and especially now with the schedule restraint. But we talk about time. We have, what is it, 1440 minutes in a day, or is it 1440? Something like that.
Yeah.
Where out of those minutes, people say, oh, I don't have time to work out. Out of all those minutes, you don't have 30 minutes to go for a walk. Okay. So walk, but then let's talk about time. Right now, one of my best friends can tell me, you know what, I'm in the process of, going through a change and going up for a promotion. I'm doing XYZ. Well, guess what I'm doing? I'm not, asking her every day what's going on, but I'm giving it about a week. Hey, what's going on with that promotion? Did you ever get it? Because I genuinely do care. I want to know. But no different for me. Example, I just started this job last week. Day one, I posted something on my Snap saying, hey, I'm here. You know what she does? She sends me a $25 Starbucks card and said, please have some coffee. I know today's going to be rough on you. Didn't tell her anything. She just did it. And she sent me a message saying, love you. Okay.
Wow.
I didn't do that for her to do that, right? I did it because I'm
Yeah.
trying to document my first day at work, right? Like people go to school, right? But that's that reciprocation of energy. Like what I do for you, you do for me. But it's beautiful. Like I wish I could put it in a jar and sell it. But people don't understand that this is a genuine effort of trying to build a friendship and then put another block on top of another block, and you just keep building, because eventually I'm going to be just like them, where my kids are gone, and right now we're hanging out, we're doing things together, we're going on vacations together, but I mean, Tony and I have to make that time for them too, and
Yeah.
Tony is a homebody, that he don't care to go anywhere, do anything. He's goes to work, come home. I call him a robot, but lately I say lately, probably in the last year, he's been like, hey, what are so-and-so and them doing? What? And I'm like, oh, you want to go out? And he's like, yeah, let's go grab some wings. Let's go hang out. And it's because he wants that. And I'm like, heck yeah, I'm going to call him right now. I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
Because he wants to genuinely know what's going on. And for me, I'm like, I know now something's happening, something's changing, because now he cares. Right. And I think that's growth, right? It's the growth for both Tony and I, especially Tony more than me, because I've always been like that. But he's doing better, man. I'm happy. I'm really happy with.
Yeah. No, it makes me
that.
smile, definitely. Okay, so you hit on reciprocity, and the way you said it was reciprocity of energy. And I was just talking about on another show that friends that trying to reciprocate 50-50 it doesn't work, right? So if I give, and my example is like, if I give you $10 and then you say, well, now I have to give you this $10 back, it isn't the same. I didn't give you the $10 for you to give it back to me, one, and two, me giving $10 to you looks different than you giving $10 to me. So tell me about when you say reciprocity of energy, what does that look like to you, and how does that, because you said it starts to build up the relationship, so tell me about how reciprocating in like a certain manner helps to build that up.
It's unexpected, really. I don't, like you said, I don't give you flowers because it's your birthday. I give you flowers because I know you've had a really bad week, or I know you're getting ready to go up for this promotion, and I want you to know that I genuinely care about you, and it's unexpected. I'm not announcing to you that I'm doing this, right? It is for me, it is an expectation that I set in myself for me to give that to that person because of the simple fact of what they do for me as well. And it's not equal, right? It's not, okay, flowers are $75 and you just gave me a $25 gift card. I don't care that you gave me a $5 gift card. I don't care that you gave me whatever that is. I don't do it because I want a payback or it's a tit for tat. And for me, that's more important because I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if I didn't have it, right? But I feel like a lot of times people do it just to check the box and say, hey, I did it, here you go. But that's what I don't want, I don't want that because it doesn't mean anything. What does mean something to me is my friend that just sent me, hey, have a great day. I need you to have some Starbucks on me. Thank you. Good luck.
Yeah.
Unexpected, right? And so back to what I was saying with the jewelry. I was in the Kendrick Scott store the other day and I was buying, don't tell Tony, but he was like, got any watch? I was like, oh, yeah, I did. No, I just bought a band.
Yeah.
But I was in there and I caught myself looking at this. They were, readjusting the band. And I immediately saw something that I was like, man, my friend, she would really like this. And I was going to buy it, and I didn't buy it for whatever reason. They were getting ready to close down, and I was just wanting to hurry up and get out of there. They had already counted out the register. But I immediately thought of her, and I was going to buy it. They'd not been shutting it down. But it's because on the flip side to that, she's bought me, and this is like last year, she bought me a football necklace or football earrings or something that, hey, I know you're getting ready to go to a game. I thought of you. I was like, it's just simple stuff. And it's not even a dollar amount. It's the thought.
Yes.
The genuine care moment of you really thinking about what I told you 2 weeks ago that I was going to a game. Yeah. It's amazing. It's beautiful.
It's like consideration. You thought about me and considered me for no reason, right? Like, yes. Just because out of the love and kindness of your heart that you have for me specifically, you did this.
That's it.
I had a friend, which you already probably know which friend I'm talking about, who I love and adore, and I always get him a Christmas present now, birthday gift or whatever, and I got a letter in the mail, right, unexpectedly, that he sat and hand wrote, and I was just like, it meant so much because I didn't get a letter because you were trying to reciprocate for gifts or anything. Like, I got a letter just out of the blue because you considered me, you wanted to write down whatever the message was, and then you sent it, right? To write, and we don't get handwritten letters that much anymore these days. Mm-hmm. We get text messages, Facebook messages, emails. You might get a video if you're lucky, but to get a handwritten letter it's pretty special and unique. So that consideration to me goes way further than I'm trying to reciprocate exactly the same value that you gave to me.
Yep. So. And doesn't that make you feel validated for the love that you feel for the individual? Like, you feel like, God, you know what? Because sometimes at first when I started thinking and feeling this way, I was like, oh man, maybe I'm loving too hard. But then when you get it back, you're like, oh my God, thank God you love me too. Like when you say you love me, you really love me because you went out of your way to do this.
Yes.
I love it.
And that's where where it is there, that's where the reciprocation is valid and true, when that love is expressed, but it's not, it isn't an equal value, it's like an equal consideration.
There you go.
Ah, so good. And yeah, that platonic love stuff is real because it makes me smile big.
Well, and I think the more we talk about it and the more we get people around us to get buy-in, to think that this is okay, this is good, like you want this. We had a friend who had some health issues late last year, and I think we might have talked a little bit about this, and I told my husband, and I met them through him, okay? But they're in this 12 man group too, that you need me, I'm there. Matter of fact, I'm checking in with you every day, like in this now more than ever, because I know there's some health issues going on. But I'm taking time, and I just want to sit there with you. What do you need me to do? I can't help you bathe or anything, but like, what do you need me to do? And food, dogs, whatever, right? To the point to where I see myself doing it more than my own husband, not because he doesn't want to, but because I'm also I'm Tony's co-partner in this, because Tony's not there, I'm there. But then I'm now reporting back to Tony the conditions or the status of these friends, and 2 weeks passed by. Hey, how are you guys doing? And I'm asking Tony, I'm like, hey, I just, so and such want to let you know that they're doing well. And Tony's like, oh yeah, I need to call and check on them. Actually, yes, you do. Like, you need to do this. But again, going back to what I said, I'm not doing it because I want this, like, oh, you
Yeah, it's not the
thank
pat
you
on the
so
back.
much. You did such a great job. It's because I genuinely want you to know that I'm here for you. What do
Yes.
you need? And I am showing up with the goodie bag of snacks because I know you're here. And oh my God, those snacks came in so good. Thank you so much for doing it. Nobody asked me to do it, but I wanted them to know that I thought so much about you, that you're going to be here probably for a few days. Please have this.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
But in return, I know that if it were me, they would be doing the same thing for me.
yeah, yeah.
Right?
That's beautiful. That's powerful. It's the consideration, and it's like it's not always going to be that 50-50, but when it does happen, it's legitimate, and it can be just as big and impactful even though it doesn't come in the same form.
Right. And I always tell people, and I've actually been using this a lot more lately. I will do this is a side note, but this kind of ties back to what we're talking about. I was at a stoplight on Tuesday, day one of work. Okay. And I do believe that if you put good into this world, good's going to come back to you some way, some form, somehow, right? It's not going to be equal to whatever it is, but it is going to be some good. So I was at a stoplight on Tuesday, and there was a car that was behind me, or a truck, and they kept edging forward, edging forward, edging forward until they hit my car.
Oh no.
5 o'clock, traffic, right? I get out of my car and I'm like, dude, you just hit my car, right? And the guy's like, oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am. I'm so sorry. And I said, you're going to have to pull over so I can get your insurance. Acts like he's about to pull over. 5 o'clock traffic, right? As soon as I turn in, the guy gasses it. He flees, flips,
Oh
right?
no. Yeah.
Guess what happened? Guess what happened? There was a car 2 cars back that took a picture of his license plate. They went through the light, came back around, found me, and they said, hey, we got the guy's license plate. Pulled over, stood there with me, hung out with me until the police came, took care of everything. They found the guy the next day. But I tell you all that to say, all this good that I put in, whatever it is, there is good coming back. It doesn't look the same way I put it out, but it's coming back. And I believe that moment, that day, that was part of the good that's coming back to me, if in a different form, because otherwise I would have never had anything to go off of.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and to me, that's that validation of keep doing what you're doing because it's going to come back. It- yeah. And so I told Tony that night, I said, he's like, did you know those people? No, had no idea who they were. They gave me their phone number, gave me their husband, wife, first name, last name, everything. Tell the police to
Yeah.
call me. And I thought, this is beautiful that strangers are wanting to help me. Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
then guess what they did? Friday, they sent me a mess, or the wife sent me a message, and she says, "Hey, just want to let you know we gave our statement. We really hope everything's okay." She didn't,
Wow.
she didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
fact that she did, I was like, what great Samaritan. And so back to what I'm saying with the friendship and putting good in, you're not going to get it all back at the same face value. But boy, when it comes back like that.
It comes back big. It comes back big. I
And,
100%
and it
believe
came in
that.
clutch for me.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
I'm happy for you. That's really
Yeah.
cool. All right, Liz. So what nugget do you have for our audience? So give them something about how is it that you have such a big circle of friends? How do you make friends? How do you get them closer? Like what does that look like for you?
So I think if you're watching this, then I can tell you that you probably know that I don't learn or know a stranger in the room. I want to talk to everybody. I want to get to know your name. I want to know about your family, your background, because that's the type of person that I am. I understand that I know that I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm a lot of people's cup of tea because it's the personality of how I am. Advice that I would give you is to really get comfortable being uncomfortable, because without that, you will not grow. And I'm talking about in your life, I'm talking about in your friendships, I'm talking about in your relationships, because we have to do better at normalizing loving outside of our marriage and our friends. And the only way you do that is for you to really categorize your friends. And I am going to say that because you have your friends, but you have different levels of friends. And you you actually know right now, you just don't want to face it with reality to say, this is what's really going on. So, what I would tell you to do is to really write your friends down, and you can sit here and write, number one question, what value do you bring into my life? And that's number one. Number two, if you can't figure that out, then you need to weed them out of your life. Period.
If we're not adding value, what are you doing here?
You're taking up number 8 or number 9 when really you shouldn't even be in the top 12.
Yeah.
And then there's people on the sideline right now that are like, man, I really want to be your friend, Liz. I really want to hang out with you. And I say this last piece. There have been friends that I have now starting to grow a little bit closer with that have been on that sideline for a while, and they want to get to know me. They want to learn me, and they want to now do things that I want to do, but it's almost like I want to be your friend so bad to where I want to do things that you want to do. And I'm like, no, don't do that. I want to do what you want to do, because now I actually like you. I want to hang out with you. But you got to start somewhere. And if you don't start somewhere and you don't start with that, categorizing and prioritizing your friends, then you're going to be lost. And you know what? Having now had this conversation with you, Morris, I can tell you, I do view my friends a lot differently. And I do see, we joked about number 1, number 2, but no, really, it's exactly how it works.
Yeah.
There is no 1.5, 2.5. It's a solid 1, a solid 2, solid 3, 4, 5. And then those people that are wanting to get in that top 5 or whatever, not to say that you can't have number 5 or number 6, but really it's prioritizing now you to be able to fit those people in.
Yes.
Right.
Beautifully. Oh God, it's so beautifully stated. It's good, Liz. It's so good. Yeah, I 100% agree. I think that understanding where your friends fit in your life is so significant, and it will help you understand where you should divvy your priority. So I'm with it. I did that exercise. We talked about that, right? I wrote all my friends down, and I said, this is the order, this is the category, and it just like you're saying, it was eye-opening, and it made me really reflect on who I am in their eyes and also who they are in my eyes. So great.
Yeah. And guess what? We make time for what we want to be involved in.
Yes. 100%. That's that prioritization. You're going to prioritize to what you want to do.
Yep. That's right.
All right, Liz, where can the audience find you?
Well, do you really want to find me? Actually, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You can find me on TikTok. I'm actually public, so please go follow me. Let me tell you what my name is on TikTok. My TikTok is Liz McD13, and I am public, so I'm not private. So look for me on TikTok, and I do post about my business, my personal. So you can go on there. I am a little private on my Facebook, but please go in and look for me. My name is Liz McDaniel on Facebook. And then lastly, I am on Instagram, and I am Liz McD13. So here's the thing. You got to find me on TikTok, because when I tell you the authentic me, you're going to see the real me. No makeup today. I have no makeup on. I wanted you to see me. I believe in being authentic and making sure that you're not trying to portray or be somebody that you're really not, because what you see right here is what you're going to get. And if you catch me in the streets, which you probably will, please say hi to me. Say, hey, I saw, whatever that is. And oftentimes people do actually tell me that, hey, I saw your TikTok. And I'm like, oh, yay, go follow me, please.
Oh, so cool. Yeah. Okay, good. And I will post links up so it'll make it easy for them to find that information.
Perfect.
Liz, this has been a great conversation. Thank you so much for sitting down with me on Stories of Friendship. To our audience, we will catch you on the next episode.
Bye, everyone.